Hello and welcome to the Portadown preview show. It's been a wet and miserable Wednesday when we're recording here, but hopefully this show will brighten things up a bit. Dave, as always, you're joining me on the show, but this week we have a debutant in Lauren McCann from The Scoop at Queen's Radio and Reds by the Minute, which is obviously Cliftonville's social media feed. Lauren, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. How are you keeping?
I'm good, yeah. Thanks for letting me come on. Obviously, I'm probably not the best person to talk to after Tuesday night's result, but I'm buzzing.
Hold on, there's a League Cup match to come, so don't get too cocky. Like Neil, before you move on, do you just not know what number episode this is? Did you just breeze past that, or
I just thought, you know what, we've gone past that stage now, so we're on a road, so it doesn't matter what episode it is now. Like it's the port show.
The boys can work that out when they're putting it up on the YouTube, however they magically do that.
I do believe it is episode 10 of this season.
Right, very good.
But I just thought,
take your word for it.
Yes, take your word for it. So yeah, it's been a pretty busy week as always. When it comes to Portadown, we've played two fixtures. Unfortunately, both have ended in defeat, away to Coleraine and away to Cliftonville. We'll talk about Cliftonville away in due course because obviously we have the preview League Cup game for next week as well. So straight to it, Coleraine away. Dave, give us your thoughts. 2-0 defeat.
Really good. Really enjoyed it. I got a good chat with Stevie Crawford after the match, as he was standing pitch side, and I managed to get in the background of Tippy's interview, hopping over the wall. So it's a good day out for me as far as I'm concerned. Oh, do you want to talk about the football?
Well, probably not, to be honest, because it was a damning result in the end.
It was a very strange game. I feel last season we were kind of close to Coleraine most of the time, and listen, Coleraine are at the top end of the table, so I'm not taking anything away from that, but I didn't think they maybe played as well as they feel that they can, and I thought we played okay and sort of cancelled them out in many regards. Obviously they went one up, but towards the end of the match we were still pushing for the equaliser, really. And then they got a breakaway goal, and I took it to 2-0 and made it look a little bit more comfortable for them. But when you listen to both managers' interviews, I don't think Coleraine felt very comfortable in the match. I don't think they felt that they played very well. And we were actually a bit quiet. There was no... While we did okay, I just felt we were quiet. There wasn't much bite. We didn't create a lot of chances. And... I really don't know what else to say about the game, Maybe you can think of some great positives, but it was okay. It was okay, but I thought we could have, when we were talking there before, Glentoran away, Coleraine away, Cliftonville away, Linfield at home coming up on Saturday. I don't think we expected loads of points out of that run of matches, and we got a point away at the Oval. So it's a lot to ask when you're playing the top four teams there to be picking up lots of points. They're obviously very good. But, in general terms, our fans were great. I think there was 150, 200 up the road, plenty of singing, plenty of drum banging. It was good fun, but it's never that enjoyable when you have to head down the road with no points.
Yeah, I think you've pretty much summed everything up there. And I don't really think there's much else I can add, to be honest. What do you make of the plastic pitch?
It sort of sparkles in the sunlight, that one. I don't know. I think there's a mixed reaction on the forums and stuff like that, but I was talking to someone. So it's in the very early stages of its life where apparently you have to play on it and then put another layer of whatever rubber pellets on it and play on it for a while and put another layer of stuff and let it all bed in. So, not a huge fan of plastic pitches, but they are what they are in our league, and it looked pretty decent. It's a big pitch, isn't it? Even the whole area in front of the whole stand has got the 4G on it as well. So, it's a huge area. Funny, a 4G pitch it's like when you cut when your garden looks a bit messy and you cut the grass, it sort of tidies it up a bit. But when you lay a 4G pitch, it can fairly tidy up a stadium, Coleraine Showgrounds isn't the prettiest place. I mean, it's a cool place to watch football from. You've got terracing behind both ends and a decent stand, and a lot of their supporters are in the terracing on the far side as well. There's something about 4G. It fairly tidies up a pitch, fairly tidies up a stadium. So disappointing result. I think we go on our travels because we like going and visiting these places and having a sing-song and a bit of crack as well. So it wasn't all doom and gloom.
Don't think Roy Keane would be too happy with your sentiment there about sing-songs. Lauren, Cliftonville, obviously, were the second team in the Irish League, to get a plastic pitch, and it made a heck of a difference for them. Do you think it'll help Coleraine potentially get to the next level? They've been challenging for the league title for a few years now, but do you think it could help them really challenge Linfield for the title?
Yeah, I think it definitely will. Even seeing this season with the instalment of the new pitch, it's really helped Paddy in the way he wants to play his football. So I definitely think it'll help Coleraine. Obviously, it wasn't ideal how late in the season the pitch was laid down and they had so many games away. So I think they're still, kind of getting used to playing on that surface. But it can only be more to good. It does look, I haven't been to the showgrounds yet, but it does look like a really good pitch. And, the likes of Lauren, they play an attractive style of football on a 4G pitch, and so do Cliftonville. So there's obviously a template there for success when you have, such good facilities.
I noticed you didn't say Crusaders play good football on a plastic pitch there.
When they play, the ball doesn't touch the pitch that often. Only joking. Very skillful players as well as long ball experts. Although, to be fair, when you look at Cliftonville's, we're not even on that yet, but I'm just going to say, when you looked at Cliftonville's goals at Solitude against Portadown, even though in between that they passed and moved and stretched us, it sort of was like that long cross-field ball and then a bit of a cross-in as well, Sorry, Neil, I've jumped the gun in a big way there, but...
Well, we'll get to that eventually. Trying to put it off for as long as I possibly could. With regards to Coleraine there, Lauren, Cliftonville have obviously played Coleraine earlier in the season and you beat them. And Coleraine seem to be a team, even in the last sort of few years, they've started slowly and then they start to get a bit of momentum and then they climb up the table. I would always say that Coleraine are maybe sort of similar to Cliftonville, like sort of levels wise. But would you expect Coleraine to really push this season, or like where do you think they'll end up?
Yeah, I think, probably at the start of the season, like most people thought the three full-time teams were really, going to run away with it, but obviously it hasn't been the case so far. And, when you have Warren Kearney as your manager, there's endless possibilities. He just seems to be able to get such a tune out of all players at his disposal. And as you said, they have a slow start, but when they start picking up momentum, they're really hard to beat home and away. They're really solid, keeping clean sheets and, bringing in the likes of Conor McKendry and Matthew Shevlin, players that haven't really got the game time anywhere else, but they've come in and they've flourished with regular game time under him. I think, I had thought they were a level above Cliftonville, but obviously the way, we've started the season, it's been a surprise. And it's been really great to see. They weren't very good when they played against us, didn't really create much going forward, but they've obviously improved since then. And, their stretch of home games after playing so many away from home at the start of the season's also benefited them because they've got a really good crowd in the showgrounds. And, if they continue the way they've been going, I'm sure the crowd numbers will stay that high. So I think they are, along with Cliftonville, the closest to challenging. I think at the minute it's kind of Linfield and Lauren are in the upper echelons, and then Glentoran, you never really know with them. They just seem to yo-yo in between being really good and then just, being so inconsistent. So I definitely think Coleraine are the closest to the two full-time teams.
Yeah. What do you make of 4G pitches? Are you a fan of them? Because you play football as well, don't you?
Yeah, we play on 4G pitches. Probably because I've grown up with them. I'm such a big fan. I love a 4G pitch. I'm not one for the wet, windy nights playing on the grass. I don't enjoy it that much. So I think the 4G is a lot better, especially I'm an attacking midfielder, so I just like to get the ball and pass it about. And your passes don't look that good when they're bobbing like reaching somebody.
Fair point.
I've played at Solitude before on 4G, and do you remember when it first got laid and if you kick the ball at Solitude, all those black pellets would have flew up everywhere? It doesn't seem to be the case anymore. It's been relayed again a couple of times, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think we the 3G for a long time until the summer there, and then we went to 4G, and because I didn't realize how bad the pitch was until I think it was Lauren came last season, and you seen their photos, and it was like, geez, this pitch is shocking now, like the amount of black pellets everywhere. So I think the 4G there's less pellets or something, or they don't bounce around, and it's that the first time I went to Solitude and seen the new pitch, I was like, wow, this is such an improvement. It just looks so slick and clean. So yeah, I think it's definitely benefited the style of football that Paddy wants to play as well.
Yeah. And I would say it'll definitely benefit Coleraine as well in the long run, because Oran Kearney likes to play free flowing football as well. Dave, you're still just like, nah, not fussed on the plastic pitches then.
No, I mean, I'll go out on a limb and say I do believe that the way forward for Portadown Football Club, this is me speaking as a person personally, the way forward is to have a 4G pitch as the main pitch in the stadium and a 4G pitch as the practice pitch in behind, because from a community point of view, if funding comes through it and the old stand gets knocked down and that turns into a bit of a community hub, stroke stand, stroke corporate, stroke, youth, Portadown youth ladies facilities. Our stadium's open 20 times a year, really, 20 Saturday afternoons and maybe a couple of Tuesday nights. And it's huge, there's so much space around it. It's got a potential there to be the hub of the community, and there's so much housing all around it. The Portadown youth pay a fortune to play on public 4G pitches. Portadown ladies often can't find a pitch to play on. And some of the pitches have been quoted like 250 quid for 2 hours. And so in my head, when I look to the future, I see a 4G pitch on the main pitch. I see a 4G practice pitch. I see the stadium open 7 days a week. I see all sorts of clubs training on it. I see young people playing on it. I see their parents coming in and buying their teas, coffees. I see a club, like a Mid-Ulster club, sharing the stadium with us, using the pitch, using the facilities, having drinks and refreshments in the club rooms and all of that kind of thing. And so for the future of the club, as much as we all love a grass pitch and that's pure football, if you want to bring a lot of people into your stadium all the time, then having 4G pitches there is the only way forward. And I know some people will agree and some people will disagree, but if you think of it in terms of revenue, cash flow, increasing your crowd, helping people feel part of the club, right from the 5-year-old boys and girls to the 18-year-old ladies to old men and women, it's the only way forward. We should have done it a long time ago. And actually, in some regards, I'm not even going to say that. It should have been done a long time ago. And to me, it's more important than developing the old stand, because, what's the point in building a stand over there if you don't need it? You got to get people into the stadium. You got to get it full, bustling every day of the week. And when we do that, I think we'll take some further steps forward. So, in pure football terms, grass pitch for me, but in terms of developing a club and a community, 4G pitch, isn't it?
We only need to see how much it helped Crusaders and Cliftonville really kick on.
Absolutely.
And then it's even Lauren, with their plastic pitch now, and then Coleraine are going to be the latest one to benefit from it as well. I do agree with you there with all of that.
The last time we were at Seaview, it was in the boardroom after the match, and they were just talking about the fact that whatever Belfast team basically rents the stadium off them to play their matches. They use the facilities, they drink in their bar, they eat in their restaurant. It's just cash flow. It's all income, and that's what you need at the end of the day. The big difference between finishing third and finishing 9th or 10th comes down to money. I think there's people out there who think players come and play for the club and you know, they've bought into the Portadown thing, and and for some that's true, and of course they feel some affinity, but football is their job, football is their career, so they want to go and earn as much money as they can, because the career is quite short, 10 or 15 years really for some. So it comes down to money at the end of the day, and I hate saying that because that's the part of football that I detest. But in the 90s, when we won the league 3 times, you know, we had a lot more money than we do now, and you know, Coleraine have a lot more money than we do. Lauren have, Glentoran have, I'm sure Cliftonville have as well. And unfortunately, I feel like that's what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I've got a bit serious there, but those are just my thoughts and feelings, you know.
Well, speaking of endless pockets, this weekend we take on Linfield at Shamrock Park. Lauren, what have you made of the Blues so far this season? Have they have they even reached fifth gear yet?
No, I don't think they have, which probably is the scary proposition. They seem to be getting by games. Obviously, Dungannon at the weekend was a good performance, but even when they beat Carrick 4-0, you know, they didn't really play that great. It was like a 30-minute spell. They scored all the goals in. Against Cliftonville, they had some good chances, but they weren't, you know, Cliftonville are arguably the better team and could have gone on and won it at the end. So I think that is the scary for the league. You know, it isn't a Linfield side that's clicked into the top gear yet, but you know, they dispatched the PSNI in the cup yesterday, and that was with a second string side, and it just shows, you know, the squad depth that they have there is unbelievable. And Christy Manzinga's really hit the ground running as he's needed to, with their striker departures in the summer. So, you know, I think they're due a really good performance all round, and there's one to, you know, keep pushing with, obviously seeing Cliftonville have a tough run of games coming up, and they're going to be playing them, and Coleraine and Lauren are also in Cliftonville's run of fixtures. So, you know, there's potential for the teams around them to be taking points off each other. So they'll be going into Saturday knowing, you know, getting 3 points on the board will be crucial. And, you know, a full performance over the whole 90 minutes is obviously something David Healy will be really aspiring to achieve from his players.
It's mad, isn't it? How like loads of people, they always say like Linfield are done, Linfield are finished, they're not playing well, they're really worried for them. And yet here we are, they're like still right up at the top. And like you say, that it's like they haven't even kicked in the gear yet. And then when they do kick in the gear, it's like they go to another level, and then suddenly everyone else is chasing them. But whenever Portadown played them a couple of months ago, we ran them close, but obviously it was a bit of individual quality, you know, at the end that won it for the Blues. Dave, would you be confident going this week and that the Portadown can lift it, you know, especially after a disappointing result last night away at the Cliftonville?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can lift it. I think we've done it before. I think we've played much better than we have in the last couple of matches before. I like us at home. It always gives us that little bit more. Having said that, we've picked up most of our points on the road, haven't we? But we do play well at home. I'm not confident. I'm not saying like we'll win the match. I'm not confident that we'll win the match, but we're football supporters and we know that anything can happen. And I go into a match like Linfield to enjoy the game. They'll have a big crowd. We'll have a decent crowd. It should be a good spectacle, and one of the teams will win. Probably Linfield, but when you're in the match, you have a chance. I think we are down to the bare bones when you looked at our bench last night, and I don't even think it was a full bench. There was a couple of players sitting on the bench who probably weren't up to full fitness. So we are kind of bare bones stuff, but we play better against better teams, especially at home. It's one of those ones where, you know, we got very close to them the last time, but it didn't matter. They went away with the 3 points. So, yeah, I mean, why do we watch football? For a chance that something different might happen, for a chance that a smaller team might beat a bigger team, see your friends and family. That's all part of it as well. I suppose just to say there is a short service of remembrance on Saturday as well before the Linfield match. So all supporters and everybody connected with the club are welcome to come to that at 2 p.m. sharp. And that'll be all over and done with in 10 or 15 minutes as well. I'd encourage you to come out to that. So listen, it's about being part of the community that is Portadown Football Club, and who knows? Mazinga might have a bad day where everything he touches goes over the bar, and the other big striker mightn't do much else. You just don't know, We could have a great day, they could have a slightly off day. You just don't know what might happen, Somebody might get sent off early. Who knows?
Lauren, is it not very strange seeing Marty Donnelly line up for Linfield?
Oh yeah, it's like I thought him lining up for Lauren was bad enough when he left us, but Linfield's just a completely different perspective. And seeing him as well, I think he would have been a welcome addition to the Cliftonville squad, even for squad depth. Seeing some of the crosses he puts in and the quality he still has, even at his age. But yeah, it took a while to get used to. It wasn't that bad when he was in the away kit and it was like white and red. I was like, okay, that's strange. And then I seen him in the blue home kit and I was like, no, celebrating guns and all. Oh, strange.
It's one of them ones, isn't it, where like sometimes with certain players when they sign for certain teams, maybe if it is at the end of their career and stuff, and you just can't get used to seeing them in that other team's kits. And like even when I see him line up for Linfield, I'm just like, it's just like even it's weird. Like I'm just like, it's Marty Donnelly. Just when he's won the league at Cliftonville now, it's just so strange. But he's a good player on his day, and and he can still do serious damage, and it's a player to be looking out for on Saturday here. Like you say, Dave, you're hoping that Mazinga has a bad day, and the same for your big man Matt Green. But at the end of the day, you don't have them two. You've got Billy Chadwick. He scored a hat-trick there last night against PSNI, like 11-0, no matter who you're playing, no matter what level.
But if them other boys are on the pitch, Chadwick's not going to be on the pitch, so it's going to be all right.
No, I know, but I'm saying if they're off it, they've got so much quality to bring in.
They do. Of course they do.
And but that was the thing in the game the last time. It was a really even game, and we were playing really well. And then David Healy changed it up, and he brought Stuart and all off the bench, and he made the difference like straight away. So
yeah, in that match, the difference was they brought on subs and went up a gear, and we brought on subs because our starting 11 were starting to tire and we're starting to feel a little bit sore. So that was massive. That won them the game at the end of the day. So, but that's the difference, and that's what money can bring you, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here, listen, we touched there on how strange it is for Lauren seeing Marty Donnelly in a Linfield kit. So we'll bring in what is now our new weekly feature on the show. So we've decided that each week we're going to do a different feature. And this week it is rank your top 3 best looking and worst looking
players. Irish League players.
No, that's next week's. So you have to rank your top 3, what you think is the best looking and the worst looking Irish League kits for this season. Now, one small note that was given out to the Perriers was that you're not allowed to choose your own team and put them in either list. So, well, you can put it in worst if you want, but I don't think you will. But you're not allowed to put them as your favorite kit and stuff. So we'll work in ascending order. Who wants to go first?
Go on ahead, Lauren. You're our guest.
So give us what in your opinions.
Why don't we go? Are you doing this as well, Neil?
Yeah. So I was going to go right. So Lauren, go first.
Let's go 1-1. Yes, good idea.
Yeah,
good idea.
So Lauren, who gets your bronze medal for the best looking Irish League kit this season?
The Coleraine, the pink one. I just think it's really eye-catching. I like it, a bit different. Yeah.
They're European. They're European kit.
Yeah, that lasted long, but I thought it was a nice one. Just something different. That's why I like away, especially just be creative. Just get the colours out.
Have they wore it yet in the league this season? Are they specifically just holding that for Europe?
It was their 3rd European kit, the works.
Yeah.
3rd again, I don't know. Sometimes you need a 3rd kit, but specifically for the European, obviously to sell a few kits,
It is a nice shirt, to be fair. I'll give you that.
Is it my turn? I've just put a bicky in my mouth. I'll take it back out.
Well, I'll go next if you want
Okay.
to finish your biscuit. So my 3rd place is actually Cliftonville's home. And I think it's a really nice design, and I think one of the reasons why I like it so much is I'm an Arsenal fan, so the red with the white sleeves, I don't know, it just obviously resonates with me. So I actually like I like the fact that Cliftonville's, well, they're playing all red, obviously, but with a white sleeve. I don't know, it's just nice. And I just think Puma's design there's quite eye catching. Like, so I went Cliftonville's home kit as my bronze medal.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dave.
So my first choice is Glenavon's new home kit. Okay. And I'm just going outside the box slightly. I'm just going to say it's not because I like it. I just really like it because it pissed off so many of their supporters. So for me, it has to be up there. Like, it's 2/3 white and 1/3 blue. So yeah, there you go. It's all right, but as a Glenavon home kit, it just really annoyed lots of their supporters. So I'm giving that my third place.
You see, do you remember the game at the start of the season and they didn't have, the shirt wasn't ready?
Against us.
Yeah, and they had to wear their training shirt, which is now their third kit, apparently. And I was just like, can't out that. Like,
tin pot.
Well, it's based on their 93-94 shirt, apparently. So
yeah, you can say that, but basically it was their training top that they wore all pre-season because they didn't have a new kit. But listen, Brexit and COVID and all that, it's difficult. It's difficult to sort out a kit for the start of the season, like.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that one. Lauren, second place.
It's the Warm Point kit. I really like the light blue and then the dark blue sleeves. And Warm Point's normally just kind of basic, just all light blue, but I thought it was really nice design. It's just kind of striking when they're playing at home. I quite like that one.
Right,
I haven't got that on my list, but I do agree with it. And the reason I didn't put it on the list was the only thing I don't like. I really love the colors and the wee bit of white. The only thing I don't like is Deli Lights is far too big on it, and it's too low down. Right, it just needs to be a wee bit smaller and a wee bit further up, and it would have been on my list. Then I have to say.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. I wasn't expecting that one there, Lauren. Fair enough. But whatever tickles your fancy. Second place for me. Now this is hard, this one, because there's two kits that I think are really, really nice, and it was a toss-up between who comes first and second. So, do you know what? I'm gonna go in second place is Carrick Rangers away kit. The black with the orange trim down the side. It's a lovely shade. So it goes in second place for me.
Could you imagine if it was a Hummel kit though, black with orange?
Hummel. That would be nice. But sure, Everton have a shirt like that.
Do they?
By Hummel, yeah. So I think the Carrick one, it's really, really nice. And well, you were talking about Coleraine there, Lauren. It's Avec makes Carricks as well. So yeah, it's a nice kit. So yeah, there you go.
Me then? I've got another one. Second place for me is Crusaders home kit.
Okay.
I like Hummel. I just like it. There's a wee bit here that could almost put me off. It's like a wee white thing, but it's decent. I like it.
It was quite an unpopular choice with a lot of Crusaders fans, when they brought that out.
Fair enough.
A lot of people.
Their away kit's hideous, but the home one's nice.
Have you give away a spoiler there for your?
I hadn't even thought about it till now. Tell you.
Okay, Lauren, who's your first place then? Who would you say is that your the best looking shirt in the Irish League this season?
If I hadn't been able to pick Cliftonville, I would have said the away one because I just love the yellow and green. But because I can't, Lauren's away kit, I love the black kit, and I think the black and gold's just really nice. It's not very Lauren, but I just thought it was nice. It was very European-esque.
Listen, you're entitled to your opinion. That's why we've brought you on here tonight.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
It's a wrong audience. Wrong audience, isn't it, Neil?
Dave loves Lauren, don't you, Dave?
Don't mind them at all.
Right. Well, in first place, it was close between Carrick and this one, but I'm going to go Linfield's away kit. The black. No, I like it. The black with the sort of fluorescent blue.
Let's call it teal.
It's nice. It's striking and it's something different. So, pinstripes. I'm a fan of pinstripes. So, yeah, I like the way the badge is coloured in. Well, like in the bluey colour. So, yeah, and it's not filled in. I like that. So, the Linfield away kit gets the nod from me.
I'm shocked by that.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's stinking. But listen,
yeah.
that's fashion, isn't it?
Yeah. I like vibrant colours, so it stands out. So I like it.
Fair play, man.
Obviously, would have picked the Portadown away shirt as number one, and in fact, I probably would have put our home shirt as number two. But like, I'm not allowed to.
I know. So my favourite shirt in the league this season is Coleraine away, which is the white one with the blue thin stripes down it. And here's what I'm a sucker for, right? I just think it's smart, right? And on their website and stuff, it's just players wearing that in a pair of blue jeans. So we all like our football tops to be a wee bit fashionable, right? But the thing that can ruin or make a kit good for me is whatever sponsors are on it, and do they blend in well? I mean, we're giving this far too much thought. I'm 42 years old. But does the sponsor blend well into the kit, right? And actually that Colerane's home and away top are both the same, but I really like the away one. I think their sponsor blends well in, and it's fairly classy. Like, there you go.
Fair enough.
Suck it up.
So basically, you are giving Coleraine the thumbs up then, because you have mentioned two of their kits. So Coleraine get the thumbs up then.
There you go. They'll still never win the league, like, but the kits are nice. Plastic pitch or not.
You know what, Lauren? Like, you see there, you're talking about Cliftonville's away shirt with the green. I always just, yellow and green for me don't really go. And then, but there's something about it. I was looking at it earlier, and I was like, it's actually not. It's not that bad actually when you look at it. So fair enough, everyone has their own personal favorites, and you like it. So
Neil, that's just because you're a wee prod from Carrick Fergus, like.
Yeah, I give Cliftonville the thumbs up there for their home kit. I think their home kit's lovely. No. Their away kits, yeah, it's growing on me. Yellow and green, it's like Norwich. I don't know, this doesn't mix. But yeah, sure. Right, flip it the other way around. We're going to go, what are your three worst? So who's going first? You go first this time, Dave.
Okay, I'll go first. So the first one I'm going to pick it because it could be class. But again, the sponsor on it absolutely ruins it. And if you took the sponsor off this kit, I would give it my number one best shirt, and that's the Linfield home top. Right? Imagine the Linfield home top, Linfield badge, Umbro logo that did not say umbro.co.uk like halfway down the shirt. Just ruins it. What's the point? Just have the Umbro badge. Everybody knows what it is like. So for that reason, it's on my crap list. Are we calling it the crap list?
In the bin, you can call it that.
In the bin. In the bin. With bad pints of Guinness.
Well, would that have been your bad? And if we had done good, bad, and ugly this week, the pints of Guinness.
Yeah, maybe. So do you know what I mean, though, by that Linfield top? Like, yeah. Imagine that without the sponsor on it. It just would be classic, like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So Lauren, who have you got coming in third place here?
The Glentoran home shirt, because I think it's just a basic green design, and then that weird red that goes like zigzag or something. I just don't think it fits very well. I just think it's a bit basic.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd agree with you there. It's not.
I mean, the mere sight of a Glentoran top makes us both sick anyway, yeah. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter who makes it, doesn't matter what style it is.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you.
It's not great.
In my third place, I am going to go the complete opposite of you, Lauren. And I am going to say in third place for the worst kit is I am going to put that Lauren away kit in there. And the reason being, I think the big gold sash across it takes away from what would have been nice with the black and the gold trim. So I think the sash ruins it. And to be perfectly honest, for me personally, if you want to wear gold in your kit, you have to earn the right to wear gold.
You have to win the European Cup. You have to have won the
earned it.
European Cup.
So yeah, that's the pin and a pin. I just think gold kits are very few and far between. I know it's a black kit, but if you want gold on your shirt, you have to earn it. And when I just think gold kits, I just think Arsenal 102 as the benchmark for it, and we won the double and all in it. So do you know what I mean? So I'm not having it. I don't think it's anywhere near as nice a kit as it's made out to be, and I'm not apologising for it.
He's not even apologising.
Yeah. So there you go. In third place, I'm going Lauren away kit.
Can't disagree, man.
So
Lauren disagrees though.
Nah, sure. It's a bit. I just don't. I just think the big sort of sash in the middle sort of takes away from it a wee bit. And if it had black and gold as an actual combination, is actually very nice. So that's my third place. So second place then, Dave.
As much as the Warren Point home top is lovely, their away top, it's not for me. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to be too derogatory. It's not for me.
Right.
Okay. It's not a football shirt.
Lauren, any take on that?
Yeah, the like bits of green are a bit weird. It's kind of like you ripped it or something.
Like a can of Monster.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that one either. But it's not my list. I think there's worse.
I've just come up with a good marketing idea. This hasn't happened to anyone. I'm not even going to talk about it on here. We'll talk about it after. Like,
okay.
In case it's a goer. Now I'll talk about it on. Why has no club like just been sponsored by Coca-Cola, like Liverpool, and their home top's just like a full fat can of Coke? You know what I mean? Like, it's just red, but it's a can of Coke. Like,
was sure Portadown playing all right?
I know they're not going to sponsor us, are they? Like,
well, you never know. We were sponsored by Tato before.
I know. You know what I mean, though? You know what I mean? Like, Warren Point could be sponsored by Monster, and their top's just like a can of Monster, whatever. It's a crap idea, but it just came out of my mouth too quickly. So.
Lauren, what's your second place then if it's not Warren Point's away kit?
The Dungannon away kit, because I like the yellow, but it's the yellow and then the black stripe and the blue stripe. I think it's just have the black stripe, the blue stripe ruins it a bit, and it's not really a fan.
Okay, fair enough. No, I get it. Right, so again, it's funny you two were praising it a minute ago, but in second place, I actually had Warren Point's home shirt.
Did you?
Yeah. And I think the reason why is, like you say, it's the sponsor. The sponsor takes away from what could have been nice, but even then, I don't know, it's just basic or something. It just doesn't do it for me. So it was a toss-up between Warren Point's home kit and that away kit of Dungannon that Lauren mentioned there. For this, the two shades at the top don't work for me.
Do you know what I'd love to see more of? Just like a 1989 sponsor on a shirt in Comic Sans, you know? That'd be class. Like, not Comic Sans, just like
Cliftonville sponsored by Candy or something like that.
Billy Murphy building contractor, you know, something like that. That's when shirts were shirts, like
Roy Paul Motors.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, then who's your number one then, Dave, for the worst kit in the Irish League?
Mate, what do you think? That Lauren black with the gold trim, like, you can't. I'm just going to reiterate what you said. Unless you have won the World Cup or the Champions League, you cannot have gold on your kit, like. And I think that says it all. I just don't think winning the County Antrim Shield constitutes getting a gold sash across your away kit, like, you know.
I agree with you. I've said it already. I think you need to earn the right to wear gold, like, and not very many teams have pulled it off. Like, some have, but
I'll say this: listen, fair play to all the clubs in the league. You know, our home tops are always fairly standard with a bit of change. But listen, some clubs have had to go and try to do something different. And again, selling kits is revenue. So if you can get people to buy your home kit and your away kit, then you're flying and you're bringing more money in, and you can pay more wages and attract better players. So fair play for teams having a go. Just some of them haven't quite hit the nail on the head.
So you're going Lauren. Lauren's away kit is the worst kit in the Irish League. Okay. Lauren, who are you going for?
The Glenavon home shirt, and didn't realise even how bad it was until they came to Solitude on Saturday, and it's an absolute nightmare trying to decipher the names and numbers on the back, especially when you're setting up the press bar. Oh, it was awful, and especially as you say, I thought that was their away kit, but no, it's their home kit. It's just, yeah, it's not nice, and their home kits are normally like fairly standard, but this is too outside the box. Not a fan at all.
Do you know the only thing worse than it is playing your derby rivals in the first game of the season at their place in your training kit? Like,
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Like, listen, my number one is, you've already mentioned it already. That Warren Point away kit is just, and this isn't a Warren Point bashing session. Like, I'm not a fan. And if it's any consolation, I don't even think they're the worst kits out there in general, because as anyone seen Nuri's kits, they are horrendous. So they would be number one in general. But Warren Point's away kit for me is, yeah, it's a bit.
You just not like anybody in the southeast, Neil?
I don't know. I understand, trying to push the boat out and stuff, but it's just horrendous. I don't think how can you market that in any way, shape, or form. I just think it's poor. But it's each of their own. There's going to be people that will really like that, and fair play. Just it doesn't do it for me. So there you go. So that's our first weekly feature done, and it's our kit rankings for the season. But Dave has obviously got another marketing opportunity here. Like, so what have you got for us?
You know what does do it for me?
What?
An ink drawing of the moment that we won the league for the first time ever on the 28th of April, 1990. It's pretty nice, isn't it? The old stand, the old shed with the fir trees and Golden Cow and the pitch invasion and all of that. So listen, the Portadown Supporters Society are selling these in the run up to Christmas. So we commissioned an artist to do these. There's only going to be a limited run of them. So they're 30 quid framed and they're 20 quid just to print, and you can put it in whatever frame you want. So yeah, it's something pretty special, we think. And I know lots of Isle boys especially have got their eye on them already, and we've got plenty of orders. So we're going to have to get a few more printed as well. So contact myself or Johnny Dunlop at any home match, and we'll have them available, or just give us a call and we'll get them round to you.
Excellent. Sounds good. Yeah.
Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there?
I know, where do we go? Well, I think we'll touch on last night now. I know we've been trying to avoid it for as long as we possibly could, but I'm afraid we're not going to be able to. So we'll get it over and done with. So last night, Portadown got beat 4-0 at Solitude by Cliftonville, the current league leader. So Lauren, I'm sure you were a very happy bunny last night. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're a very happy bunny overall at the minute, because Cliftonville are absolutely flying right now.
Yeah, at the start of the season, and kind of thought, we'd be up there challenging for the European positions, but I don't think anybody expected, such a start. And we're playing an attractive brand of football. Okay, maybe not all the time. We're not that easy on the eye, but, we've been really effective, bringing in the likes of Jamie McDonough, Cricky Gallagher and Johnny Addis. They've all settled really well and really hit the ground running. And, when McDonough puts in such great deliveries and you have a striker like Joe Gormley there at the end of them, it's the recipe for success. And other players have stepped up as well. Ryan Kearns continuing his great goal scoring form. So it's been a really positive start to the season, as you say. And I don't want to be that glass half empty fan, but a lot of our games have been at home, and we've made Solitude a fortress recent years. And I think the away form is going to be, we have a test and run of fixtures coming up at the end of this month here, with successive away games against Linfield, Coleraine and Lauren, and that'll be really where we'll see, where Cliftonville are, because we're really poor against Ballymena away. Didn't play that great against Crusade, but came away with a point. So it's definitely positive. And, these are the kind of fixtures, no disrespect to Portadown or Dungannon coming up, but at home you need to be winning if you're going to be up there. So it's a good start, but, our squad isn't as deep as the likes of Linfield and Lauren, and the away games, as I said, could come to catch us. But so far you just have to be happy, especially considering how inconsistent we were last season. Seeing us string together a run of wins is really pleasing to see.
Yeah. Dave,
I mean, you said no disrespect to Portadown or Dungannon, but I do feel disrespected. So,
Dave, I think we felt the full wrath of Cliftonville last night. You can never leave Joe Gormley lying standing free in the middle of the box by himself with a free header or goal, and that's exactly what we did last night. So if you're doing that, you're going to get pumped.
Never mind. Do you know the best thing that happened last night? Neil, what was the best thing that happened last night? We took a wee selfie and it went viral on Instagram today. Like we were both looking half decent last night, to be fair.
That's because I had my hair covered. Like, it's just an absolute mess at the minute, to be perfectly honest. Like, so.
Listen, I was like extremely impressed by Cliftonville. I would even go stronger than that. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they passed and moved the ball really well, really quick. Always options. Stretched us, moved us across the pitch, and then sort of hit that cross-field ball and put our wide defenders under extreme pressure, really, just with those balls constantly coming. Seemed to be great team togetherness there, and obviously quality players in among that. So I thought we weren't brilliant. I thought Cliftonville were excellent. Probably the most important thing for Cliftonville was they scored after 5 minutes. And for Portadown going to solitude, you can't let Cliftonville score after 5 minutes because it's an uphill task just going there. So to be one down after 5 minutes, I mean, it's like climbing Everest, to be perfectly fair. So take nothing away. Portadown weren't great. Cliftonville were absolutely brilliant, I thought. Packed full of great players. Good crowd at Solitude last night. I'm sure it's not the biggest crowd you've had, but plenty in the stand and plenty up the side. And I saw on the forums today, maybe some supporters thought that your crowd was a wee bit subdued last night, but other people said, well, for the last sort of half an hour, there wasn't much to get excited about because the match was over and done with, So taking nothing away from that, what I would say is, Cliftonville scored the early goal. Second goal is a fluke. It's a cross, hits the post, comes in off. Third goal's 3 yards offside. I don't care. I'll argue with anybody all day long. 3 yards offside. Fourth goal's a penalty. So I'm not saying we were unlucky because we deserved to get beaten. Cliftonville were really good. But when you're facing an uphill task and there's no luck at all and the luck's all going the other way, well, then it makes it twice as hard. So Neil, I think I was saying to you before, matches on the road there, when you looked at Glentoran away, Coleraine away, Cliftonville away, Linfield at home, I don't think we expected to pick up any points or a lot of points. So we've picked up 1 point away at the Oval. And that was a bonus, really. We are where we are. We're sitting in 11th place. Really, we want to finish 10th or 9th, or who knows, maybe even 8th if we go on a bit of a run. But it's a difficult night when you go to places like Solitude, even when you are playing really well. So to go there when you're scrapping for everything and you're at the bottom part of the table is really difficult. But fair play to Cliftonville. It's a good win. It's a morale booster for them as well. And obviously we move in now we'll play them again on Tuesday night in the League Cup at home. And Lauren, I suppose you were saying maybe on the road, Cliftonville maybe finding it a little bit more difficult. Obviously Ballymena, who aren't really going well, beaches up there. So again, it's a cup match. It's a one-off. It's on grass. It's at Shamrock Park. I go into that thinking, yeah, we're in with a good chance of getting a result out of that match, regardless of how good Cliftonville are, But a disappointing night on Tuesday night, no mistake about it. I don't think anybody went away feeling any kind of satisfaction, really.
Well, Cliftonville fans did.
Yeah, of course.
Lauren, it must be absolutely amazing to have such a hotbed of strikers coming through, because I just look at Cliftonville and go, they had Liam Boyce and then Gormley came through, and now they've got Ryan Curran. You just always seem to be blessed with a conveyor belt of great strikers from in and around that area. Like, what's the secret?
Well, we struggled for a few years. No disrespect to David McDade, but we didn't turn it on when he was at us. It was hard to watch at times. We had
Ooh, there's some shade thrown there. Hope we don't score
yeah,
against us soon.
yeah, and then we had KK, who's now I think at Ards as well. So we had tough times during the 2015, 16 type era, but Ryan Curran is when he came in as well. He struggled a bit, but he's really blossomed into a great centre forward. He just always seems to pop up and be in the right place at the right time. And his goal on Saturday was absolutely superb. The second goal he scored, it was such a finish. And yeah, when you have the likes of Paul O'Neill on the bench, not able to get on, Calvin McCurry, who broke into the team last year, is away known in Ards, you just see there just is so much talent up front. And when you give them the service, him and Joe are going to score goals. So it has been great to see, especially, as you blessed. I was blessed certainly when I was a lot younger with Boyce and Gormley, one of probably the greatest partnership I've ever seen in the Irish League. So to have Kern and Gormley I'm a young supporter.
Dying to jump in there. I'm dying to jump in. Lauren, how old are you, Lauren?
20.
Ah, right. Okay. You're right then. You're
excuse,
right then.
Yeah. I can have an excuse. But yeah, everything's going really well at the minute, so it's just great to see. And I know the crowd obviously wasn't as big as it was on Saturday at the weekend, but the supporters have really turned out in numbers this season, obviously after COVID, and it's been great to see Solitude packed basically every Saturday.
Yeah, and when you're going well, people expect to win and see goals. Of course, they're going to turn out, aren't they?
Do you think Cliftonville can push on? Like, a lot of people would think Cliftonville will fall away, and you're saying there, you don't want to get carried away because there's a lot of tough away games coming up. Do you think Cliftonville have the squad to fight on, well, not even 3 fronts, it'll be 4 fronts, because you're still in the County Antrim Shield as well? Do you think you can do that?
For another few days?
I think, it's going to be really tough because, as I mentioned before, the squad depth, isn't what it is at the other clubs, but there's a great camaraderie, as you mentioned before, and, there's a settled starting 11 there, even with Rory Hale injured last night, Chris Curran came in, so whilst there might not be that similar sort of depth across the squad, there are players that come in and have similar impact. So I think the league's a bit of a stretch, obviously with these tough away games coming up, and then when the split happens as well near the end of the season. But I certainly think a trophy this season is stability, and I certainly think Europe is the target after being so disappointing missing out last season. So I think we've kind of been not hit so badly yet with injuries, but obviously last year we had centre back crisis, and just seemed every week one of our centre backs would be in. We've strengthened in that position. So I do think the squad we have at the minute is very good, and the players we brought in January and then in the summer have really settled in well. So I do think we can challenge on all fronts at the moment. And Cliftonville, whenever they're in a cup final, the crowds they've come out so far in the league, but when it's a cup final, everybody from North Belfast seems to come out for them. So I definitely think we can challenge at the minute. Obviously we've into the semi-finals of the County Antrim Shield. That's going to be a really difficult one, but Linfield at home, I do have confidence that we could get a result there. And then if we beat Portadown on Tuesday, we're further into another competition, so before the Irish Cups even. Not that I have any hope of us getting anywhere near winning an Irish Cup ever, but yeah, I definitely do think with the momentum we've built so far, winning a trophy and sustaining a push for Europe is definitely the aims.
See, whenever we're saying there, it's so strange seeing Marty Donnelly in a Linfield kit. So last night, obviously up at Solitude, he's brought on Colin Coates, and I was like, this is so strange. Like, even when he was wearing a Glenavon kit, you're just like, it's weird not seeing him in a Cruise kit, but it's even stranger now seeing him in a Cliftonville kit. Like, but see,
that's the perfect example of a player who doesn't play for the shirt. right?
Oh,
Moves to your greatest rivals for an extra few quid, basically, and that's. Do you know what I mean? No, that's unfair play to him. He can do what he likes, but do you think Colin Coates feels comfortable playing centre back for Cliftonville? I don't know. I'm asking the question. He got a good rouse and cheer, to be fair to him. Obviously, the fans have taken to him. I suppose when one of the greatest recent players of your big rivals comes across to you, it's a wee bit of a confidence booster, and it's something to hit them over the head with, isn't it? Not literally, just figuratively.
Could the likes of Colin Coates maybe be starting in the League Cup game next week? Like with Cliftonville, as you say, they've got a run. So you've got, you say you've got Dungannon this weekend?
Yeah.
And then after that in the league, you have a tough run, you saying?
Yeah, it's 1 point away, and then that run of Linfield, Coleraine and Lauren.
So is there a chance then that they might maybe mix the team up a wee bit for the League Cup game if they've got a run of hard fixtures away from home coming up?
Yeah, I was thinking that, and then Harney came on yesterday, and he's working his way back from injuries. There's definitely the depth at centre back there that we kind of missed last year, and yeah, as you said, Colin Coates got a run out too. He hasn't really featured. He was out injured for a bit as well, I think. So I think it's getting those players up to scratch, and Paul O'Neill obviously as well is another one who's probably likely to start. But I'd say they'd name a pretty strong team. There's a great chance of progressing in the League Cup and winning the trophy. Then he's only lifted the County Antrim Shield, Paddy, since he came in, and with the group of players you have, you should be challenging for trophies.
And he's won the League Cup 4 years in the bounce. Is that right? So it's
Yeah,
a competition
the
he's
glory days.
well in.
Yeah.
The glory days. Let me. Well, here your glory days were a lot closer than what our glory days were. Like I tell you that.
I would sell my right leg for a League Cup, like.
I'm actually really looking forward to the game next Tuesday. I think it'll be good. Is there something about a nighttime game? I love it. I love a wee nighttime game during the week, like so.
You're doing commentary, are you?
No, I'm doing the commentary for the game this Saturday against Linfield with Brian Gartland, and then
nice, very good.
I'm actually doing the PA next Tuesday.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So,
assistant to the regional PA announcer.
Yeah. So I'm doing that next Tuesday. So there you go. But it should be a laugh, like so. Well, provided Port Island win, that is.
I know.
Well, here, listen. I think we've pretty much covered all bases here with everything that's gone on so far, like in the past week and stuff, and everything that's coming up over the next week. Lauren, give us a wee rundown here of your show that's on Queen's Radio, The Scoop. I see there you had some Irish League players on, and you had Thomas Cosgrove on there recently. Obviously plays for Lauren, ex-Cliftonville player, very good player. Come to think of it, how's your wee show going?
Yeah, it's good. We started last year when I started my first year at Queen's and developed a sport podcast, and then now I'm going solo. I didn't have a fallout, everybody just left. It's not me. But I just every week we try get one of the Queen's clubs on or somebody in the Northern Ireland sporting world and just have a chat about their careers. Obviously I'm really football driven, so we've had quite a few footballers on. As you said, Tomas, he was a good laugh. His son actually was telling a story on it. And it did happen when we played Lauren. His big, massive Cliftonville fan and came out as mascot with him, but in his Cliftonville gear. So that drew quite a few laughs on the day. And we've had like Carrie Beattie was on recently talking about Northern Ireland, and that was really good. And yeah, we've had some of the few Queen's clubs on, and then just have a general discussion really about sport that's been happening. So yeah, that's basically it, just every week, and it's available on Spotify. The next one should be out tomorrow, I think, and it's with the Spirit of 2016 host Andy Bell, just talking about Northern Ireland ladies. Obviously the Euro draw was made there, and they're getting recently, so yeah.
They've got a hard draw, don't they? Hard group.
Yeah. Although the Austria result recently obviously give a bit of hope that they might be able to get a point. I'm going to the Austria game in Southampton, so it should be good.
Very good, very good. I seen you had a wee article there recently as well on BBC Sport with regards to women's football. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about Cliftonville ladies, obviously. But yeah, no, just because they had a complete change of coaching setup and the team challenging for a league, and that was unheard of for Cliftonville ladies. Obviously got pipped to by Glentoran, but just kind of how they brought about the home change, the players they brought in. So yeah, it was really nice to have that in the BBC.
Very good, and congratulations. So anyone listening here, check out Lauren's show on where can they find you on the socials?
So it's on QR The Scoop, or if you go on Spotify and just search Sporty Scoop, it should come up.
There you go. Happy days. Dave, are you trying to flog your picture again? Yeah.
I have two things to say. One thing is just to say, listen, get some of those for Christmas. Framed 30 quid, unframed 20 quid. Come and see me or Johnny Dunlop and take a wee piece of history away from you. But I do have another grand announcement to make.
Okay. Do you want a drum roll?
Doing it right now.
Hold on. No. I'll get you. Actually, no, it'll take too long to fire it on YouTube. Right. Go ahead.
No, so listen, obviously we're into November now, so we just like to announce that the head of the road player of the month for October is Michael Ruddy. So well done, Michael. He had a great month. Played on. I think he's possibly got a broken toe or a very sore toe. He's scored a goal up at the Oval. He's been very solid at left back. He's played in central midfield when he's been asked to do that as well. So he's had a really solid month and done very well. And he just pipped one or two others to the head of the road player of the month. So congratulations, Michael. We've got a tankard and a meal voucher for the head of the road for you, and we'll get that to you as soon as we can.
There you go. Excellent. That wasn't the announcement I thought you were going to make, to be perfectly honest.
No, what did you think?
I don't know. I thought you were going to try and plug something. I wasn't thinking you were going to make a player of the month announcement. No, fair play, Michael Ruddy. He's been putting in some fantastic performances. So congratulations.
Well, I suppose I will just say a reminder that there is a service of remembrance on Saturday at 2:00 sharp, and come along for that and for 10 or 15 minutes before the game.
Excellent. Well, Dave, Lauren, thank you very much for joining us on the show here tonight. And before I go, just want to say, don't forget to like and subscribe to We Are Reports TV's YouTube channel. You'll find this on Spotify as well. And I believe we are now also on Apple Podcasts, so you can check us out there too, if you wish. If not, then it's up to you. But thank you very much, Lauren. It's been an absolute blast having you on the show, and hopefully we'll get you on again, and hopefully it'll not be when Cliftonville have won 2 games against us. So fingers crossed for a wee Portadown victory here in the Cup next week, and it would be nice to beat the Blues this Saturday. So one can dream. Cheers, folks.